the psychology of somehow feeling as if your entire marketing strategy should be based on not offending the people who aren't going to hire you. Like, I don't understand this. I hate asking people for things. It's a character issue for me. Like, I just legitimately don't like asking people for anything. I've been evicted because I had my mother literally yell at me right after college, like, why didn't you tell me that you were struggling financially? I just say ask me things. She's like, it's your home and I'm your mother. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
But so I get it. Like, I get that feeling of not wanting to be quote unquote salesy, as we say.
This is the online trainer show, trainer show, trainer show. This is the online trainer show.
We shouldn't have a podcast.
We appreciate you, Caro.
Such a
Wait, it wasn't recording yet. Hold on. You gotta repeat that. What, Jonathan? He's like, no.
he's gone deaf and mute.
I had a bit of a brain fart there. Said something that was not.
He said he appreciates me, everyone. That's what you need to know.
And,
John just had a petit mal seizure.
yeah.
Lost track, stared off into the distance. Amber's dressed like a secret agent today. She looks. Amber looks very.
I she had to turn her heater off because it was so loud. Because last time you could hear it. Last time when she spoke, we could hear it the whole time. And this time she came on, and I was on here first with her, and I was like, "You got to turn that off." Like, our listeners.
It's 85 degrees in my house, and I'm still cold. So
our listeners deserve the best, okay?
Amber's very FBI profiler right now. like I'm in the interrogation room with Clarice from Silence of the Lambs.
You even look like her. I love it.
Right. Dr. Lecter, please be honest with me. Poor little Clarice. Fly, fly, fly. Fly, fly, fly. Let me guess, Clarice. Your father was a coal miner. Did he speak with a twang? I want to say the census take his liver with a nice Chianti and fava beans. Delicious.
That was the filthiest sound.
It's from the movie, though. He got it right.
That's what Hannibal Lecter did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's many more disgusting things that happen in that movie.
Oh yeah.
It rubs lotion on its skin. It puts the lotion into the basket. Like, that's a seriously twist. Also, quick update for this subject matter. CBS has made a recurring series out of that character. It's called Clarice, the character that Jodie Foster played in Silence of the Lambs, as if the movie wasn't creepy enough. Now you can get it weekly on national broadcasting. It's not a scary movie, but that movie legit creeped me out. Like, it had me, like looking over my shoulder when I was outside and stuff. It's just super creepy.
It's super creepy. And here's a fun fact about it. Not a lot of people know that the person who actually wrote the novel on Hannibal Lecter, he inspired himself on a Mexican serial killer.
Oh, that makes sense.
He actually visited him in prison and everything. Like, they actually corresponded. He interviewed him, and then he's the basis for the character of Hannibal Lecter. So, I mean, I don't know if we should be proud of that or not. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing.
Just accept that. Like, if you had to play the odds of, like, there's going to be a serial killer from somewhere. Who do you think that serial killer is? Like, it's going to be Mexico or Colombia.
Oh, man. Kiddo's the official PR representative of Mexico.
Yeah. Woo, 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 woo.
Need her saying that, and then the transition in video, come to Mexico.
Yeah, visit Mexico. That's our slogan. Visit Mexico. Like, I don't know if I want to. I got you, homies. Represent.
Oh man. How was your last trip? I got 3 tetanus shots and 4 delicious churros. Come to Mexico.
The town that I live in is actually incredibly safe. And you want to know
It's
why?
very, very safe.
Yeah, it's
Why?
super safe. No, there is no crime ever that happens. The reason why is because the town is run by the narcos.
Oh, there you go.
So
you
nobody
go.
starts anything, because if they
Yeah.
did, they'd have their head chopped off.
Right,
It's
right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know,
Narcos are finished.
if you want to be in a safe place, be in a place that's run by the mob.
This is true, though.
This is very
This
true.
is absolute.
When I was in
my-
Brazil, it was the same thing in Rio de Janeiro. Like, the favelas that were safe were the ones that were run by the mob. Basically, the ones that were quote-unquote pacified and now run by the government police forces. They were the ones where all the crime happens.
Yeah.
My uncle was New York Police Department retired, lived in Brooklyn, and he said this very, very often. He's passed on many years now, but he said this very often. He said, I don't have crime in my area because, you know, everything's handled by the mob. Like,
Wow,
you know,
yeah.
people don't, and this was the 80s. Like, I don't know what it's like, you know, Brooklyn's a suburb now, but in the 80s when it was Brooklyn,
Yeah.
like that's when my uncle used to say that all the time. He's like, yeah, we don't get a lot of crime around here. He's like, all the crime's like down in Manhattan and stuff like that. He said, but in my area of Brooklyn, we don't have that issue. People don't rob stores or anything like that. People don't mug people because they get their hands chopped off.
It's one of those cases of F around and find out. It's like,
right.
just don't.
That's another great logo for Mexico. Mexico, F around and find out. Oh man, you've written an entire tourist brochure for Mexico.
Follow me for more branding and marketing tips.
Oh my gosh!
Not bad.
Oh my gosh! Oh man, to think I was thinking visiting, but I'll hold off. I'll go to Myrtle Beach. Yeah, I'll go to Myrtle Beach.
I feel like if you want to be safe, maybe Myrtle Beach is a better choice.
right. It's a little bit. It's a better option for me. You know, maybe Amber's boyfriend can fly me there. Maybe if I drive halfway, Amber, fly right across. Say if I drive to Carowinds. For those that don't know, Carowinds is our amusement park in North Carolina. It's on the North Carolina and South Carolina border. So that's where our and it's a Paramount park. So Paramount films are featured there. They have like Top Gun rides and Wayne's World rides and things like that. In any case, so Amber, say hypothetically, I drive to Carowinds. I meet you at Carowinds, near where they sell the popcorn. You know, one of the popcorn stands. Could the helicopter then land adjacent to the popcorn stand in Carowinds Park, lift me up, and then take me to Myrtle Beach? And what's the protocol for landing there? Do I have to jump out into the water? Because I've always wanted to do that. Can he hover 5 to 7 feet above the water? Let me Navy SEAL it into the water, and can we get that on film so I can put it on Instagram? I need an Instagram story for that.
It's content.
Right. Doesn't it seem like it'd be so cool? Like if it's relatively safe, doesn't it seem like it'd be really cool to hang from the skids on the helicopter? Like that's a cool thing. That's a cool thing.
We do an Online Trainer Show podcast reunion special where we all record the episode hanging. It'd be like surviving. It'd be like, who's the last one to fall off of the skids into the water of the helicopter? Can you do that?
He did have a request
Can you
from
make that happen?
lesbian couple who was getting married. They wanted they're getting married on a boat, and they wanted to be airlifted and dropped like Mission Impossible style onto the boat while it was moving as part of like their wedding entrance.
What?
Now, see, that's real. That's kind of love.
Did it happen?
No, the liability on that is ridiculous. They'd have to get
Right.
insurance and whatever. They did film a rap video with it though.
Nice.
Nice.
There we
Nice.
go.
There you go. It's basically the same thing.
It's a good second.
Isn't the helicopter yellow?
It is yellow.
Was
Yellow
the rap
helicopter.
video a kid's video for
No,
bananas? and
but he
pajamas
did wear like
as they're
a
coming down the
crown and
stairs?
everything. I can find the video. It was pretty fantastic.
I have to say, I pretty much need you to find that video.
I'll find
it's
it.
gonna-
You know what it was, Ren? It was the banana rapper.
right. Did they do the hip hop version of Bananas in Pajamas?
It's the banana
Bananas in Pajamas.
banana rapper
Coming
raps
down
so
the
faster. They can't catch up.
hot step up.
Stacking the bills.
Stacking those. The bills need to be stacked.
When I go on the internet, I always clear the captcha.
What? Oh my God! Oh, I did. That's enough. That's enough, Jonathan. You're done for the day, sir. You're in the corner for the rest of the day, Mister. We've got interesting things to talk about that don't involve any of the things that we've talked about so far, and we're almost at the bottom of the hour, so we've wasted half of your time, which is it's our standard protocol here on the Online Trainer Show. But you've learned so much about Mexico, rap videos, and same-sex weddings today. I feel like we performed a public service. It is Women's History Month,
in developing countries.
Yes.
You've looked like
Absolutely.
in developing countries. I mean, Mexico is not a developing country, but like you get what I'm saying.
It's developed, and of course, Narcos. So what are we talking? Oh, we're talking about today. This is an interesting subject, right? They're all interesting, but some are more interesting than others. I had questions about this subject yesterday and today. We're talking about, what are we talking about? I can't remember because I know it started with CT. We were talking about the call to action, but
we're talking about how important it is to actually ask for the sale. Like, it seems like the most important thing ever. It's like, if you want something, you should probably ask for the thing you want. And
yes,
you should probably do it way more often than you're already doing it
right
now, if you're doing it. It's incredible to me. People are like, oh, I put out a post asking people if they would join my online training program, and I got a few responses, and that was good, but I haven't had anything happen since then. What do I do? It's like, how long ago was that? That was about 2 months ago. Asked for a sale since? Well, no, how do I do that? You literally say, does anybody want to sign up for online training? And it's not like that, but we make the joke. It's like, imagine if you sold sandwiches and there's a whole bunch of hungry people walking outside your store that would probably buy a sandwich. Unfortunately, your door is locked and your blinds are shuttered. And you don't have a sign.
There's no sign that says sandwiches.
And then you complain in Sandwich Sellers Unite, the Facebook group, that you got all this meat that's going rotten, that's going bad.
I swear to God, if I had admin privileges on that group, I would go immediately and change it to Sandwich Lovers Unite. Just see if anybody noticed. Amber's, I've raised Amber's antenna. So, Jonathan, I literally just had this conversation yesterday with a lovely young lady from England. I can't remember her name. I would mention it because she would really appreciate it. She's really, really sweet young lady. But she said, I've got a bit of a problem. I'm not sure how you can go about getting more clients. So it's been a little bit. I was like, so what have you tried? Well, I did the FCC. It was great. Okay, how long ago did you do that? I did it in May. I was like, May of 2020?
Well, so the governor. Here's my advice.
Right. a bit of a pickle. Pickle you in there. Pickle, governor. So I said, let me ask you this hypothetical question, because I like hypothetical questions almost as much as I like analogies. And I wrapped this hypothetical question into an analogy, and my head nearly exploded from the joy. But right, so I said, let's say hypothetically, you've got a client that comes to you and says, I really want to work on my glutes, but I just can't seem to get any glute growth. And you said, well, when's the last time you had a leg day? And they said May. I said, what would your response be to that? Well, I'd probably tell them they need to work glutes a bit more. I was like, exactly, spot on. So it's so ironic that Jonathan led with that, because that's ironically the most common thing that I get when people tell me they can't get clients. My first question is, okay, when's the last time that you did an enrollment? Oh, I did a founding client challenge in February of last year. Now, can I do that again? Like, what?
Yes.
Not only can you probably should. You may not want to discount every time, but yes, you'll want to tell people that you're a coach and you coach people, and you're looking for people to coach.
You should build in. I mean, to like, obviously we're making jokes because we don't want our salami to go bad, but like
We kid. We kid.
we kid. But I mean, there's a lot of truth to it, and I think anybody listening kind of gets it, right? Like your analogy of the glutes, my analogy of the sandwich shop. Your analogy makes way more sense in the context of what we're talking about. Mine is just awful. I'm gonna find an analogy that the least amount of people listening to this podcast will resonate with. Oh yeah, a cold cut sandwich shop. Like that makes sense.
There's some Subway employees out there, Jonathan. You've done well for yourself, sir.
Actually, a woman,
Give yourself some grace.
we found out that the woman staying at our complex owns the 2 Subway shops in town. There's 2 Subway
really?
shops. It's the only chains of anything. And we
Nice.
found out that we met. And she's like, yeah, so you know, if you guys ever want anything, you just let me know. We're like, we're in a small town on the ocean in Mexico that has like the most amazing seafood and tacos ever. It's like, I don't want your shitty Subway sandwich, you know? Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Ain't no meatball subs in that ocean, son.
I get like the most amazing like fresh tuna burger. It's like that thick for 60 pesos, which is like $3 US. Like, I don't want your Subway sandwich with the meat.
I feel like there's an entire other analogy coming up here that is like, make sure that you are targeting your offer to the right audience. Otherwise, you don't want people coming at you and being like, I don't want your shitty sandwich.
I mean, look, it was very nice.
No
to put
cold
offer,
cuts.
but we have not taken her up on her offer.
It was a very kind offer,
I
Jonathan.
think
Very kind.
what's really important here, if I can get serious for a moment,
Yeah, please.
because
Can you?
us at the Online Trainer Academy, which, by the way, is the industry-leading certification and business development course for anybody, nutrition coaches, fit pros, who want to learn to start or grow in online training business. This is for people, maybe you haven't done any online training before. Totally cool. We'll help you. Maybe you've trained some clients. Maybe you've sort of been DIYing it. You thought, you know, how hard could this be? And then you realize that it actually is pretty hard and things aren't going as well as you'd like. And you've kind of got some pieces, but need somebody to connect the dots for you. Well, that's the Online Trainer Academy, onlinetrainer.com/academy. And I feel like we need to be a little bit more serious for a moment and just get like tactically, you got to build, the easiest way to do it is to build some cadence into your promotions. Like to just say to people, it's like, oh, you got to promote more often. It's like, well, yes, but how do you actually do that? And we've given this example for a while. I mean, if you build cadence into your content, it kind of makes everything easier because promotions go into that. And the easiest way to do that is, okay, well, a month gives about 4 weeks. So let's just do this every 4 weeks, right? Okay, very cool. So week number 1, you're going to be doing basically like general interest content, audience building content, right? Stuff that's going to get people to you. It's going to be like high engagement type stuff. Week number 2 is going to be more community building. That's where you're going to get people to have discussions. That's where you're going to ask a lot of questions. That's where you're going to have a lot of polls, that type of thing. Week number 3, you're going to showcase a lot of success stories. So you're going to actually tell stories of people who have had success with your program, or if you can't do that yet because you haven't yet had any clients, that's totally cool. Talk about your story, talk about the why behind why you do what you do. I.e., you know, we spoke about that a couple episodes ago where Ren is obviously not his target market. And so in that case, well, Ren is not going to tell a story about himself if he never had a client.
Right.
He'll tell the story about his mother and his sisters and his family and why it's so important to him that he does what he does, right? So that'd be week number 3. And then week number 4, you promote. And so, like, that's just the most basic cadence you could possibly put together, but like you've kind of got everything, right? You're building your audience in week 1, you're engaging your audience in week 2, you're building social proof amongst your audience and getting them starting to talk about your program in week 3, and then you're selling in week 4. Boom, spin that, right? Every single month. So yeah, I mean, ask more, but like build a cadence of doing. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly the way that I said it, but seems pretty straightforward.
Set it up.
Yeah.
Set it. You know, and create a sense of it. And you know, this is sort of the same thing that Jonathan's saying, just worded differently. You know, create a sense of expectancy for your potential clients, right? Like there's nobody that doesn't know what Black Friday is. I mean, and I'm saying that within reason, within reasonable, sort of westernized culture. Everybody kind of knows what Black Friday is in terms of holiday shopping, and there are people right now that are depositing extra money into their account at work or their savings account, preparing for Black Friday because they know that it's going to happen every year. I mean, pandemic notwithstanding, but they know that that day's going to happen, right? Nobody has to figure out that there's going to be a Black Friday because if they had to figure it out and it surprised them every year, if it switched every year, a lot of people would be disappointed and say, "I wish I had known." And I see that happen a lot with the coaches that I mentor. They're so sporadic in their ask that the potential client never develops any sense of expectancy. And I've had clients that have told me, yeah, I remember your enrollment in January and I couldn't do it. So I talked to my husband about it and we started saving so that by the time that your April enrollment came out, because we know you enroll the last week of every month, that I'd be able to get into it. So I'm just going to pay up front because we saved the money over the last couple of months. Like, that's so advantageous to your sales process because you're not catching people off guard. Give them the benefit of some type of expectancy for when you're going to utilize that call to action. Excuse me, and more people will have an opportunity to take advantage of it.
I love that.
Uncomfortable it is if you don't know how to buy something.
Right.
We actually had, so, I mean, a bit behind the scenes, because this really hits home with me. In 2019, we ended up being a little bit in the black, but like there was a period where the PTDC started to lose money. And it was the first time that that's happened. And like, that's scary because basically we were spending more money than we were making. And we ended up in the black a little bit on the year, but like not much. And then, we righted the ship in 2020 and 2021 is shaping up to be really good too. But it's perhaps the biggest reason was there was confusion. I mean, the Online Trainer Academy was the main thing that generated, my books and stuff like that, taking a couple $100,000 a year, but like not enough anywhere close. Yeah, we've got a couple $1 million in expenses and salaries. So like, you got to make real money in order to fund that. And so, there was confusion amongst when it's available, when it's not available. Because we were on
the Online Trainer
Academy, because we were on this launch cycle, but we weren't on a regular launch cycle. It was open for a few weeks and then it was closed and we didn't quite know when it was going to be opening up again. And that was just me being terrible at running things and terrible at managing the calendar, right? But the reality of it is nobody's going to wait around for something that isn't open right now and they don't know when it's going to be open or it's going to be open for a really, really long time.
Right.
And as a result, we just started, coinciding with that, there was a lot of new people who started to enter the market and we just started losing business to all of them. Not because we had a worse product, because nobody knew that they could buy our product. They'd get told about it and they'd get there and it would say closed. And they'd be like, okay, I guess I can't get that. And then they'd go somewhere else. I mean,
and then the questions would start.
This hurts. Like, you have an amazing program. You know that you can help people. You know that it's the right chance for a lot of people. But for whatever reason, you're spending all of your time doing a whole bunch of stuff that really isn't anywhere close to important as literally saying, can I have your money for the service I want to deliver? Like at the end of the day, you are not in business if you're not selling. And I think a lot of us, these are Amber's words, are very effective, productive procrastinators. We start making all of these lists. We start making all of these calendars. We start thinking about all of the things that we should be doing. It's like, nah, you need to sell. Nothing else matters if you don't do that. Like, that comes first, right? And then, once you've got that cadence down where you know when and how you're going to sell, then you start building in the other stuff around it. But it's like the American money system that makes no sense. Everything's the same color. Why are all your dollar bills the same color and the same size? It's the stupidest system ever. I'm reaching into my wallet. I should know immediately what's a 1 and what's a 20 and what's a 50. It's like, this is the Mexican money. It's colorful. It's like a rainbow. It's like, I know exactly what it is when it is. right? And what I need to use when. As a result, I don't like the United States.
Oh, man. I feel attacked. It's so funny. Like,
you don't need to fix your money because that makes no sense.
Like now that he's in Mexico, it's not even passive aggressive anymore. It's just aggressive.
Just aggressive.
Just aggressive. You know, one of the things that you just said that I love, and I've never worded it this way, but I love the way you worded it. It's difficult to buy something when you don't know when it's available, but even more difficult if you don't know when it's going to be available in the future. Like that's the trifecta of confusion. Like, not only do I not know when it's available, nobody's even giving me any indication of when it might be available in the future. And that really is confusing, man. And I remember getting those questions. Hey, I saw you did OTA. When is it open? When did they have it? Let me see. I think it's in April or something. I'll go to the website. And then 5 seconds after I would reply with that DM, yeah, it's not available yet. Do you know when it might be? Who could I call? I'm like, bro, I don't know. I'm the least likely to give you good information here.
So what I'm hearing here is that we need to stop treating our businesses like a freaking Jack in the Box. It's like, surprise, we're open. It's like, what? Why wasn't? I don't have the money. What? It's like, oh, and we're closed again. Surprise! Like what?
Like Jay-Z said in one of his songs, Jay-Z said, grand opening, grand closing. Like, nobody knows when it's available.
Online Trainer Academy, how long did we feel the pains of that?
A long time. Like
when we opened enrollment all the time. So like when it was just available. Like none of this nonsense of, oh, we're closing enrollment because this is like, nah, you're closing enrollment because you can't figure out a better way to market so you have to manufacture scarcity. Like that's why you're closing enrollment. Right. But since we've been open all of the time, right? How long did it take for for our audience and for our community to understand that that's the case? It was like there was a lull. I mean, it was like 6-8 months easy. Like it takes.
I was thinking a year. I was going to say a year.
So it's almost like they have to become re-educated now into like the new way of.
Yeah, we had done so much damage, confusing our community.
because when we left, the hurt was so deep. I'm talking about the clients. I'm talking about the potential coaches. The hurt was so deep, I just couldn't trust anybody anymore.
It's not even that they like couldn't trust. It's that they just like nobody cares as much about your business as you do. Like,
right.
It's just not important enough. It's like it's not even anything anybody thinks about. Like if somebody were to actually check or actually read our communications, they knew, but you can't expect somebody to read all your communications or check or look into it that much. It's just they got their own thing going. So it took a long time for the general consensus to be.
So if I can share.
Open and available. Yes, go ahead.
So if I can share something that worked for me well in this last round that I was doing enrollment is I started messaging people. And when I say messaging people, I mean, I went on my friends list and literally the alphabet. Like I did not discriminate. Like if any woman that could, like I did not make any assumptions. And I'm going to be perfectly honest. There was a glass of wine that happened there for those conversations, to just like for those cold messages to just kind of like drop. Now I'm not recommending that you do this if it's not your jam, but if you already find yourself one night that you had a glass of wine and you think like, I should contact such and such and tell them about my problem, do it. Totally do it because it works. It's okay. So inhibition's gone. I'm just cold messaging people. And what I did is that I told them, what I said to them is like, hey, I thought of you. I have this program and I have 2 spots left that I would really like to see filled. So let me know if you know anybody who would be a good fit. So I didn't even put it on them like, oh, this is for you. Like you should, because women and like recommending like fitness programs, like you don't want like, oh, you could use this is like, what? Hold on. What? Like, be careful with that. So I'm like, just let me know if you happen to know of somebody who could be interested in my services. And what happened as a result of that is that a lot of women were like, oh my God, you've been on my mind. oh, I want this from me. I can't this round, but please let me know. So now I have a spreadsheet of different people in my contacts who want to be on the loop for the next time, and they're excited and they have a connection to me and we have communication going. So you're planting seeds. Even if you don't reap it in the moment, plant those seeds. Oh, Jonathan is giving me the touchdown.
It's very good. Rightfully so.
What you just described is such an important element of what's called persuasion, which is
I like that term.
Robert Cialdini wrote Persuasion and then wrote a book called Persuasion, and Jonah Berger has done a lot of research into this too. Of you can't tell somebody what to do. What the only way, the most effective way to persuade somebody is to let them make their own decision. Nobody wants, even if it's something that they want to do, they won't do it if they feel like you're forcing it on them. They have to have autonomy over their decision-making process. And what you did is you gave them autonomy. Now, with that in mind, Amber shared the link for the music video, for the rap video, for the helicopter trip. And
show notes.
So the rapper's name is Quentin Smalls. So
all right.
it wasn't that far off with the banana rapper. And I haven't watched the video yet because that would be rude while we're on the podcast, obviously. But what I do want to do is share with you the first 4 lines that he quoted in it. It goes, everybody got dat drip, that dat with a D. Everybody on dat, also with a D, wave. Everybody got dat sauce. But IMA, keep bringing hashtag flavor.
Nice.
Everybody got dat drip. Everybody on dat wave. Everybody got dat sauce. But I'ma keep bringing dat flavor.
Nice.
That's deep.
Far off with my rap.
It's deep, man. I don't know.
Yeah. You guys thinking what I'm thinking? Quote card for the week?
Yeah. You got that drip? You got that sauce? Do you have that flavor?
Yeah, and then flavor.
Everybody got that drip.
Fundamentally.
Sauce. I got that flavor. Keep bringing that flavor. Hashtag.
Yeah.
And I am extremely happy because Amber has made a, for when I have my travel blog, it says.
You got your travel brochure?
Yes, brochure.
Nice.
Yes,
Thank you.
with my slogan, F around and find out. I mean.
She's gonna have a whole section in Target stores pretty soon.
Yes, thank you.
Books, travel, you name it. Keto's definitely got that drip, and she's definitely riding that wave. There's no doubt about the fact that she's got that flavor too. Hashtag flavor. It's a natural progression.
Sauce. Do I have
the sauce? The sauce. Yeah, you got the sauce. Obviously, you got the sauce.
Yeah.
I didn't think that I needed to mention the sauce because it was a foregone conclusion. It's obvious.
Well, there's going to be some sauce with the drip and the flavor.
Right.
You can't have a drip and a flavor and no sauce. Right.
Right.
And the combination of all those liquids is obviously going to create a wave. So it's I see the synchronicity. Yeah, I see the synchronicity in the lyric here.
Smalls is a sage.
Right. I can't tell you how many times I've been on public transportation here in the South, and someone asked me, "Hey, what's the best thing you've read lately?" And I'm like, Quentin Smalls. Obviously.
Maybe like the Oracle? The Oracle?
The Oracle Quentin Smalls? Bro, is there another one?
I saw that his music video with Hilton Head helicopter tours that one time.
The yellow helicopter? The yellow one. With a really handy pilot, because we know he's handy now too.
Oh,
no, wait. He's talented. Amber said he's very talented. So there's that.
I'd love for her to mention great beats. Yeah. I'd love for Amber to mention in great detail what she means by talented.
She's fainting now of embarrassment. I'm sorry, Amber. I had to do that. I couldn't let that
I
happen.
love that Carolina is so happy that the mayor is not the only voice on the podcast.
Yes. Yeah, we get to throw the spotlight on somebody else for a
man,
change.
overjoyed. Overjoyed. So if you're just listening in here, we're talking about how to how to do a call to action, how to ask for the sale. Carolina just gave us a great tip: drunk text your potential clients. And we're moving forward from there. Like Catalina sent 75 messages that said "I love you."
And I did not get even one new phone with this. No one.
That is legit not a bad marketing technique. Pretend that you're drunk sending text messages.
And just like, now that we're chatting, have you thought about online coaching?
I feel like there are business coaches who give worse advice.
Oh, they're legitimately are business coaches. That's $5,000 worth of business coaching advice we just gave you guys. Seriously. Oh my gosh, the horror story. And I don't want to get too distracted from the subject, but let's be honest, is what we do. But I'm watching Jonathan's stories the other day, and he's legitimately sharing these texts that he gets from people who are confessing that they've just spent $5,000 or $7,000.
I get them multiple times a week. I would say
it's
every day,
crazy.
Every day, but multiple times a week.
It's crazy.
I'm so happy that I found the Online Trainer Academy, but let me tell you, this person was $5,500 Australian before on a business coach for 3 months, and what I've gotten from the OTA in the last 3 weeks.
She said like in 2 to 3 weeks, it's been more valuable than what I learned in 3 months with the other person. And
for anybody interested, that's the Online Trainer Academy, onlinetrainer.com/academy. It's where you go if you want to learn how to start or grow your online training or nutrition business. onlinetrainer.com/academy. Join us, or you're a dum-dum. What was that? The first time that I did it, I said that, and I felt really bad afterwards. And I was like, I hope that it comes off as funny, but I definitely didn't mean to. I think I just ran out of things to say and caught myself in that infinite loop, and I was like, oh shit, I got to say something. We're on the podcast. We can't have silence.
Just feel the time. So let's circle back around to the actual subject. We got miraculously somehow we've got time left. I don't know how that happened, but
there wasn't much to say. I feel like that's why.
Right.
There really wasn't like should you ask for the sale more often? Yes. Are
you
asking right now? No. Should you? If you want to sell sandwiches, should you lock your door and have your blind shuttered and never make a sign? Probably not a great idea. That's
probably not. Yeah. Probably not. So don't be I'd like to speak to the psychology of it once also, because this is what I run into a lot too, and I know Amber does too because she's in the academy. She's a mentor. The psychology of somehow feeling as if your entire marketing strategy should be based on not offending the people who aren't going to hire you. I don't understand this. Yeah. This is a concept that I hate asking people for things it's a character issue for me. I just legitimately don't like asking people for anything. I've been evicted because, I had my mother literally yell at me right after college. Why didn't you tell me that you were struggling financially? I just say ask me things. She's like, it's your home and I'm your mother. What are you thinking? Yeah. But so I get it. I get that feeling of, not wanting to be quote unquote salesy, as we say. However, you cannot build your business based on not the people to a sushi place. They don't sit around thinking about all the people who want pizza. we shouldn't talk about sushi too much because we're gonna really offend the people that love pizza. Like, it's not a part of their marketing strategy. You're not only are you allowed, Amber will occasionally forbid you from doing things. This is not one of the things that Amber's forbidding you from doing. You're allowed to talk incessantly during your enrollment week about your enrollment because it's enrollment week, right? Or if it's enrollment day for you, if it's enrollment month. I know, folks like Mike, he enrolls once a quarter, so he may enroll for a greater period of time, but you're allowed to do that. Remember this. Number one, the algorithm is unpredictable on every platform. You don't even know that people are actually seeing what you're posting. Like, you can't count on that enough to think, oh, they're seeing it so much. Unless you bought like a $6,000 ad like Lamborghini Boy did, the whole half of the planet seen that stupid ad. For the six-figure salesperson. But you don't know if people have seen the algorithm. Number two, people don't remember. The internet is short attention span theater. If you put a gun to my head right now and said the post what was your favorite post yesterday? Describe it in detail. I literally cannot remember. I don't remember the words. I don't remember the picture exactly. Like, I literally cannot remember what the best post was yesterday that I saw on social media. I could maybe give you, the 50,000 foot view. I think it was something about habits and, turkey or something. I can't remember exactly. Like, I don't even exactly remember what my favorite post of mine was yesterday. Like, people, you have to give what did they say, Jonathan? Like 7 times? Is that what they say? The mythological amount of time people need to have contact with your content or something? I know it's more than once. However many times it is, people have to see your content 3 times or 5 times or something like that.
Yeah, Chet Holmes, like years ago, who's a famous sales guy. This is before the day of the internet. Made the claim, and I don't even know what it was based off of, that people need to see your marketing appeal a minimum of 6 times before taking action.
Right.
I would guess that that's probably about 600 now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's no data on it. Like, I have no idea.
6,000 times. So you're basing your thoughts about you annoying people and your thoughts about talking too much about your business and your thoughts about, I think I'm posting too often. Like, you're basing all that on something that's not foundationally real. Like, it doesn't exist. So don't feel, and Carol was a great example of this. She had response on Monday when she did her launch, the one we talked about in previous episode. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's a desert. Like, you can either retreat or you can keep going. You end up being that person on the dance floor, starting the party, right? Yeah. And I've been that person because I like to dance. You're out there by yourself on the dance floor at a party, hoping things are going to get going. You got 2 options. You can walk off the dance floor with your head down because nobody comes up onto the dance floor, or you can really go at it, like, get it in, like, make sure that you have a good. Typically, when you do that, when you have belief in the fact that it's actually a party and you want it to start, typically 1 or 2 people will start to creep onto the dance floor, and then you got an actual party. What I see happening more often is people get on the dance floor and somebody say, yeah, go get it, the first 2 minutes of the song, and then people stop cheering and people will quietly ease off the dance floor, saying this party's not good. Hey, you're responsible for it. You got to start the party. So I'm going to lean into my content when the interest starts to dip, because you can always do it again. That's the other thing. Like, you're not confined. I had a student ask me, have you ever done an enrollment period and nobody enrolled? And I was like, yeah. They're like, how did you handle that? I said, I enrolled next week. He's like, the very next week? You did it the very week after you did it already? I was like, yeah. I was like, he said, what did people think? I said, I don't know. The 5 people that enrolled at $1,000 a piece, they thought it was pretty good, I guess. Because I made $5,000 the next week.
How could you? I just did. I just asked people if they would buy. Yeah,
Right.
but nobody bought.
Nobody bought.
Again, tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much the next day. Hey, rent's coming, and I need a new pair of Nikes. So,
Yeah.
so I'm enrolling the very next week. Like, there's no shame in running your business. It's your business. How could you possibly be ashamed? And the other side of that coin, and then I'll be quiet because it'll be time to go. The other side of that coin is relative to what Jonathan was talking about that Dunning-Kruger effect, right? The people who know the most think they know the least, generally, and the people that know the least think they know the most.
Mm-hmm.
The diarrhea tea people, they're not letting up. Like,
Right.
you don't enroll next week, guess what you're going to see the week after that? More diarrhea tea, ads. That Photoshop waist on that model is going to get razor thin over the next several weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't buy the 28-inch waist? Well, let's Photoshop it down to a 13-inch waist, and let's make the hip measurement 44 inches. We'll see if they buy then.
And let's
they didn't buy it.
Let's
make
make
the
up
waist
something
skinny.
about body types and
Right,
having special for your body type. Let's make up something about that. It's been a few years since people made up shit about that. Let's see how that used to work.
Did we try eat for your blood type yet? Yeah, we tried that. Did we try eat for your hair type yet? No, we didn't do hair type. Let's go with hair type.
Do it.
Shrink that waist on Photoshop. Make the booty a little bit wider. Let's get this thing rolling again. Can we have it up by midnight? All right.
See if that works. See if we can find a winning offer with that one. That's
Right.
the marketing speak, by the way. Go
Right.
keep doing it until you find a winning offer. That's the marketing.
Can we Photoshop her onto a hat that Lamborghini boy is wearing as he's walking by the Lamborghini with the doors up? Let's get that one out. Like, those people are not embarrassed about actively going after clients so they can ruin their bodies, ruin their lives, and ruin their psychology when it comes to wellness.
Yep.
You're obligated as a certified professional who's compassionate and competent and capable to stand in that gap. You got to get out there. Like, there's no other line of defense except for you. And here we are thinking, well, I don't want to, I know that there's a lady out there who's feeling really down about herself. She's got some medical conditions. She needs a trainer. I could probably help her. But I don't want to post too much. Like, that's ridiculous.
Right.
Like, get out there, save the people.
Yes.
That telling
Exactly.
you to take that detox suppository is posting every day.
No, the butthole sun tanning is my favorite. Yeah, it's a thing. Look it up or don't. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
Like, look
man.
it or don't. I don't know if you want those ads popping up on your Facebook all the time.
Oh my
But I
gosh.
mean, they're out there unabashedly pushing their stuff. You do the same. You show up in the responsible professional that you are, and like Ren
Yes.
said, save the people.
Please save the people. Amber's just disgusted by not only the length of this broadcast, but the subject matter. She's never seen her look so fed up on one podcast as she does now. Like, from the hip hop banana to the butthole tanning. Amber, she just had enough. She's exhausted. She's tapped out. She's tapped out for the day. God bless you, Amber.
Amber's the only one of us that actually has to listen to this again in post production.
Right.
All of us can just go
Poor thing.
another day. I know.
She's thinking about the second round of this that she has to listen to.
Oh, sweet summer child. I feel for you.
She knows too much. It's like knowing the day that you're gonna die. Like, she's too informed now. She got no hope for what might happen in the future. It's gonna be bad, Amber. Like, your next hour of this is gonna be bad the second time. You're welcome. I better do the show notes. We're like 3 minutes over, and John's got salami, and Jonathan's got a Subway invitation to keep.
Decided to bypass
No.
all of the amazing fresh food here
Right.
and have
It's-
the most processed fake flat meat I could possibly have put on an old stale piece of bread.
Oh man, a $5 foot long. Go get it, Jonathan. You deserve it, buddy. You've earned it.
Thanks, Ronald.
Let's see. You're welcome. Show notes can be found at onlinetrader.com/podcast. This has been a most thrilling episode of the Online Trainer Show.
We had drunk texting, butthole suntanning.
Drunk texts, banana wrappers, and buttholes. Oh my! We'll see. Right. We'll see you next time on the Online Trader Show. Somebody please play the damn jingle.
This is the Online Trainer Show. Trainer Show. Trainer Show. This is the Online Trainer Show. We shouldn't have a podcast.